What's going on, everybody? We just finished assembling the green Eclipse build over on the membership, and we still have some stuff to do. We got to take it apart again, but kind of a test fit to see how it all looked all together. And right now we're going to do the same thing to the Skyline and the Honda Civic build. We actually got all three hard drives put together. This one, of course, has white LEDs with some blue acrylic. This one's got some green acrylic with some UV LEDs, and same thing in the green Eclipse build. We're going to start here with the Honda Civic. I already have the fan mounted with some hardware I had to pick up. Might notice kind of a wild, weird looking paint job here. We're going to show you the other side panel and kind of explain what's going on. So I'll put up two pictures, the Turbo 360 build that we did and the Toxic build. I kind of did a mixture of those two paints. On the Turbo build we had hammered metal over full glow in the dark, and basically the hammered paints just put a whole bunch of fisheyes everywhere, so you can actually see the glow in the dark through the dots, and it kind of looked like a Starlight headliner. The Toxic build was similar, but instead of glow in the dark underneath, we did fluorescent green and then a hammered paint over top, and then we actually sanded it as well, a lot more than we did on this one, so it looked like the paint was like melting off, and you could see the radioactive material leaking through. So we actually did a mixture of the two on this one, glow in the dark paint and some fluorescent green, and then the hammered black over top, and then we sanded it not as much as the Toxic build, but you can see the green kind of peeking through a little bit, and this paint really comes to life in a UV light. Now yes, we could have done like the green Eclipse and Skyline build and just painted it gloss black just like the car, and well, I kind of tried to several times with different paints and we were just having all kinds of trouble. So when in doubt, go the artistic route. And basically it's supposed to mimic kind of the night sky with some stars, kind of cloudy, with like a green glow that comes from the Honda Civic's neon underneath, the bright green underglow. And of course we've got Rogers on the side. Like I said, it really comes to life under a black light, and I don't actually have a flashlight at the moment, but we do have a UV bulb here, and now I need to turn the light off on the camera. Kind of just getting a glare from that bulb right there, but I'll get it charged up at least, and then we'll shut the black light off. There you go, you can start to see it now. So we have that on all the main shell. We still have some matte black on like the components for the faceplate, and we've got glow in the dark on the trim piece for the hard drive and the eject button and the DVD drive bezel. We've got our green Talus Moon fan in, and this was the 3D printed fan shroud. Now I was going to put the other one in that was a little foggier, but it was just really wonky. It doesn't seem like it was going to fit without extensive modification. This one I did have to trim about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch. Around here it was just a little bit too long, but after that it seems to fit pretty nicely. We've got our DVD drive cover on. I'm still waiting on the laser assembly, but we still want to put it together anyway. And I'm still waiting on a sticker here that says Panasonic, because of course in the movie, black Honda Civic, green underglow, nighttime, semi-truck, Rogers on the side, full of Panasonic TV, DVD, VCRs. And we've already got the glow-in-the-dark bezel on there. And we're leaving the green ring of light, of course. Got the case screws on and our glow-in-the-dark eject button. Let's go ahead and set the side panel on. Got our end vents on, kind of this matte metallic. Now our hard drive in the same paint, but with glow-in-the-dark around the outside. And I still need to put the faceplate together. So this one is fully assembled. Let's do the same thing to the Skyline build, and then we'll try them both out at the same time. So we got some of the stickers put on, the stripes, the other stripes, Toyo tires. We put some decals on the faceplate as well. We'll see that in just a second. And then I took 3 of these silver nitrous bottles, because obviously he has 3 in this car, and some of this tubing that I'm not sure if it's actually Lego tubing or it's just for Lego, but it's kind of like a translucent blue. And then we connected those to the 3 nitrous bottles. We're just running those towards the front, make it look like they're going towards the fan. And some plexiglass, we need to cut this section off, get that installed on this window, and we can put it together to test. We do still need the RF board. It's white in the center, blue ring. That should be here soon. Window installed. We also have some plexiglass right here, which isn't fully attached, but we'll probably end up sanding that one and put Skyline across there. We've got the shell halves on and our top and bottom vent. Let's go ahead and put the hard drive in and grab our faceplate. And here's our faceplate we put together in a previous video, and then I added the decals across the top. There we go, 100% together, but not complete. First up, let's power up the Honda Civic. I'm going to go ahead and throw a disc in just for the heck of it, even though I know it hasn't been reading and I've already ordered a new laser assembly. Might actually be here today. Need some grease on those tracks. Okay, didn't even try. And once I get the UV flashlight and it's darker in here, we'll really show that paint job. So with this one, I actually have some leftover nitrous bottles. I'll probably go ahead and throw either the blue or silver one. I think I have one of each somewhere under here. Of course, we need the laser assembly or Panasonic sticker for the DVD drive. And I think that's actually just about it on that one. If you want to see this one powered up, check out the membership. Let's go ahead and power up the Skyline. See if it catches fire. Right off the bat, what we're waiting on for this one, I still need to actually attach these tubes on the other end. They're just kind of sticking up over here. I want to get that front piece sanded and put Skyline across that window. And I still need a couple more of these bolts, just 2 more for the fan. I originally planned on taking that sticker off the center of the fan, but now I'm not so sure. I think I like it either way. Apart from that, I'm just waiting on controller parts. Oh, and the RF board. Oh, I really want to keep this one. This is, I think, my favorite Fast and Furious one so far. It's hard to beat blue. And those Akasa fans are just so much better than standard LED fans. And I know they have ones where it's like a full glow all the way around, but I actually like this more. Alright, let me know what you guys think on all 3 of these builds. Don't forget, on the membership, the winner of the drawing is going to get to choose the Eclipse or the Civic, and whichever one is not chosen will be put up for sale on eBay. Before we dive into the next thing, I wanted to mention, just so that it wasn't posted and people were like, what's going on? I'm very strongly considering listing the liquid metal shell. So a few reasons for that. One, I am not rich. It's hard to see something worth what this thing could be worth. I mean, I don't even have an exact number. Just kind of sitting here, I think the flipper inside of me would rather flip it. We put it on a couple systems. It's really cool. It's obviously one of the coolest shells you can get. However, I keep kind of putting it off and thinking it's got to be like the best internals ever. But you really won't be able to see through it. The LEDs look awesome through this thing, but I don't think you'd even be able to tell if there's like heat sinks versus a water block. Being able to turn this into some cash would allow me to take care of some other things and pick up a regular clear shell, because I'm pretty confident I could turn a clear shell into something cooler than this. As you know, that's basically what this is. It's a clear shell that's basically got a metallic silver painted on the inside. So I could just take a clear shell, whether we dye it or use some kind of color shift paint or glow-in-the-dark paint or some kind of anodized, whatever the case may be, something that's still see-through. And I think you'd be able to see through it better and still have maybe even a cooler effect. So not 100% on that, just wanted to bring that up. Considering somebody has one of these full shells on eBay for $700, even though it's still been sitting there, not saying it's worth that much, but there's only 100 of these, so it's not going to be cheap. Just heard a knock at the door, so I'm hoping that's our shell that we're sort of using for these two, the controller shell. I also already got this one in a few days ago. This was for the Chucky controller, which is what we're going to throw together real quick now. Obviously we've got a painted front shell and a painted back shell, so we don't need the main shell, but I had to buy this whole kit to get all of the buttons and sticks and everything. We're going to go with orange, pretty much everything. And this is our clear blue shell, finally, from Hong Kong. And basically we're going to use the back half of this shell. This is for the Skyline build. We've got a painted silver front, put the clear blue back on it, and probably some of the buttons on there. And a few days ago I also got a green button kit. So we're going to use the front half of this shell and the green buttons. That's probably going to be our controller for this guy. And this one here was probably going to get my last wired controller. We obviously want to leave the green in there. The black works great. At first glance, I feel like the choice would be obvious between these two, but I also think it more boils down to, you know, whether you want a Talus Moon fan or the Ghost Case parts. Now, furthermore, discussing the liquid metal shell, we'd be able to get more cool stuff if we sold that one. Stuff like this. Can you tell what it is? Little sneak peek. That is a genuine XCM clear purple faceplate. Like I said, I think I'd rather have a full clear fat shell. I don't think I've ever had a regular clear shell for a fat. Got a bunch of stuff out here. Got a couple wired controllers that are nasty. They haven't been opened yet, but they work. Now we already have a controller inside this one. I only have a few that have different color LEDs in them. So this one has all red. We're using that in the Chucky build. This one here has red and blue, but player one is blue. We're going to use that in the Skyline. I still think that's better than green. The blue is what you're mostly going to see. The red is just kind of a bonus. And then obviously these two have the green LEDs, which we need for the Eclipse and Civic anyway. And then I have one more that has white LEDs, but it kind of doesn't work at all, and the stick is totally messed up on it, so we'll have to save that for another time. And then I have another one that has orange LEDs that we're probably going to use with this orange shell for Han's RX-7. Technically, I guess we have the C-3PO controller, but that's obviously for the Star Wars build. Chucky controller, we got all the orange stuff put on there. I wanted to leave the clear red up front, and I didn't think the white guide button really matched. I had an orange chrome one. We have the navy blue back. Now, the plan was to paint the battery cover with the stripes of like his sleeves. But one, I'd have to buy like 3 more cans of paint just to do a battery cover. Don't think that's worth it. I did find a custom decal we can cut to size. I'm probably going to use a different battery cover anyway. It was mainly just put here so we didn't get any paint on the inside where the batteries go. So I'm probably going to get a black one, and there's a custom decal that's the exact stripes of his shirt. We'll just cut it to size to cover the battery cover. But what we do have are some other stickers that we're going to kind of randomly place on this back shell. So the little random things that are on his overalls, just a few of these stickers we'll be placing around here. So there we go. Picture that with the stripes down the middle on the battery cover, and that is basically the Chucky controller. Okay, this one was pretty simple. Mostly clear blue around the back with the sticks and D-pad and front, and the matching silver paint for the Skyline. Now, these kits all just come with a regular green center part, and I didn't want that on there, and all I had was white, which is as close as we can get there, but they also don't come with the function buttons, which kind of a bummer, but that's okay. Now we are left with the front half of the clear blue shell. There we go, you can see through it. And we've got all of our green trim and button pieces. We're probably going to use pretty much all of them on this, but with the wired controllers we can't use this piece. It's a different shape. And obviously the back half of the shell is different. On the wired controllers, no place for batteries. I'm gonna see if I could try to keep a couple pieces just to put on the Civic build. That one's gonna be black, obviously. We'll put the regular green. Looks like this doesn't come with it, but all these come with like a solid clear green. Guide button we'll definitely put on there. There we go, green Eclipse controller, kind of the inverse of the system itself. And then our nice subtle Honda Civic controller, just some green accents. And while we're at it, I'm going to go ahead and take this controller, which has the orange LEDs. We're just going to put that orange shell on it, even though I don't have the all-black buttons for it. We'll at least throw it on there, and then it's time to clean up all the controller parts. They're all over the house. As a matter of fact, when we're done with all of the projects I'm working on now, or at least get most of them out of the way, I'm not saying I won't be working on anything, but I'm going to take a brief break from at least working on like 7 projects at a time, and go through all the parts that are, there's a few piles like this around the house. Not to mention, I'm going to have to probably change gears a little bit during the winter time. It's going to be extremely hard to do full custom paint jobs when it's below freezing outside. But that also gives us an opportunity to work on some other things that I've kind of been putting off because I've been really focused on stuff that needs painted as we get close to winter time. Alright, we now have Hans controller sort of together. Imagine this being black and all of these being black as well. So just all blacked out with the orange. I'm really excited for that one. Now, I think I still have like 3 other controller boards that all just have issues. One, like I said, the LEDs and the analog stick is all messed up. One of them, you put batteries in it, it seems to work, but every time you touch it, the rocker motors go off, just constantly. And then as soon as you let it go, it stops. What the heck is that? And of course, our C3PO controller. I'm going to have to wipe it down, of course, but this is actually in such good shape. I don't see crud anywhere. It's a little worn down here. That's the most common spot in all controllers. And yeah, this thing is great. And speaking of this one, next thing I'm about to do is take a look at our Star Wars Slim. So stay tuned for the next video on that. And if you're still here and the video has just been uploaded, go ahead and check out the membership. It's just 99 cents a month. We're doing this giveaway on Thanksgiving, so I can't say exactly when. It'll probably be right around lunchtime because I will be going out of town later in the day. But 99 cents. Free controller. Well, free for 99 cents. And even if you just missed this giveaway, as long as you sign up within the next week, you should be good to enter the giveaway for these 2 here, as in you get to pick one, the other one will be for sale. And I at least organize all this stuff, even though I'm sure there's still random controller parts here and there. But yeah, look at all these disgusting shells right here. I've only got 3 white ones. The rest are black. We got a few other pieces over here. Everything's kind of bagged separately. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to not like, comment, or subscribe. Check out the link in the description to join the membership. Thank you to everyone who supports the channel. Thank you to all our members. We'll see you guys in the next video.